picked up some paint from the paint place. A lot of you guys have asked me where I get my paint from, and my answer is I get it from a place called Single Source in Augusta, and for you it may be different. Basically, I called them this morning, told them my paint code for the black truck and the paint code for the red truck, and what we're gonna do is I'm gonna finish color matching some of the parts on the red truck. And the reason why I got paint for the black truck, I really could have just went to Walmart and bought spray can black paint, but I figured, you know, I have a spray gun, why not just get the exact paint? The reason why I got paint is I'm gonna color match the inside of the headlight. I'm gonna get rid of the amber light on the side, and we're gonna make the strip thinner because I just really don't like how big that white LED strip is. I've been wanting to do it for the longest time, but I was kind of scared. I talked to Ryan at Daytona, and then he said it wasn't that bad. I figured, you know what, let's give it a shot. What's up, babe?
Thanks.
You turn it off.
I was really scared to do that.
Huh?
I was really scared I was gonna hit it.
I was scared that you're gonna hit the mirror.
But you know what? With my expert driving skills.
Shut up and get out. Alright. We have a lot of newcomers, and in general, I've just had a lot of people asking me questions about the setup of my truck. So basically, I'm gonna spend some time today and go over everything we've done, and I am doing a 1-year transformation video on this, so stay tuned for that. And we are going to be color matching a few other things on this truck. Hit that subscribe button and stay tuned. But basically, the first thing we're going to go over is, I guess, like the performance stuff. Not much done to it yet. The EGR blocker plate, which is back there, is right there. Really, there's not much to see. It's just a little slide-in blocker plate. We have Ryan's Diesel Services 64mm turbo right there. And she lives. And then we have the eBay intake turbo mouthpiece, because the stock one is very restrictive. And then we rerouted the PCV, which comes down to here. And the hose, I got it from Lowe's for like 20 bucks or so. You could buy a whole PCV reroute kit online for like 70 bucks, but to me that's such a waste of money because you can get this whole thing for like less than $30 from Lowe's. So I mean, all you need is the fitting, hose clamp, and the hose. We are going to be doing all the piping and stuff like that. Don't mind the wires. That is for the rock lights. Just got to put that dust cover back on and you won't see it. Speaking of the EGR blocker plate, I do want to emphasize on this because we're going to have a lot of people talking about how the blocker plates are bad. And yes, I do agree with you. Blocker plates are terrible if you're removing the EGR and putting a blocker plate on there and keeping the factory up pipe. That's really bad because you guys know diesel trucks are shaky, and over time, all that vibration is going to cause that up pipe to split at the elbow, and it's going to be a bad time. When you are doing an EGR delete, you do want to do an LB7 style up pipe. However, I have the EGR blocker plate slid in between the EGR and the up pipe, so my EGR is still there, and on top of that, it's tuned and the EGR is already not working. The blocker plate is there just for that extra safety measure. But that's really it for under the hood performance wise. We are gonna get started on that pretty soon, so make sure you stay tuned. And I'm pretty excited about doing all the piping because a buddy of mine, Garrett, has a LLY Duramax as well. He said that he saw a huge improvement once he did the Y bridge kit, so pretty excited because, you know, I got a bigger turbo, I got the 3-inch downpipe, and to me that made a huge difference. And the fact that it's gonna make a bigger difference by putting the Y bridge kit, I mean, this truck's gonna scream, and my transmission is gonna not like me. So might have to take that to Wisconsin sometime. Yeah, we might have to take that to Mark, get built transmission on it pretty soon. But suspension wise, this is a 4.5-inch BDS lift kit, and it's set exactly at 4.5. If we come here, you see that CV axle, that angle, super flat. I didn't want to have any kind of angle to it. I wanted it to be as flat as possible, and I gotta tell you, this truck drives amazing, way better than stock. If anybody wants to improve the ride quality, 100% go with BDS 4.5-inch kit. It will improve the ride quality. BDS does have two different knuckles. This is a standard knuckle, and they have the narrow track knuckle. So if you guys look right here, this really pushed out the front of my truck. I have 2-inch wheel spacers in the back, and the front is still wider. So if you guys don't want that, get the narrow track, but keep in mind you do lose a lot of turning radius with the narrow track. So that's one of the reasons why I went with the standard, but I also didn't know how wide it was gonna be. I'm sure if I turned the keys up and it was sitting at like 5-6 inches, then it wouldn't be as wide. But like I said, with this truck, I wanted it to be as low as possible while being able to clear the 33s, and in which I have to trim the bumper because it still scrubs good bit. And then while we're doing the lift kit, I went ahead and upgraded my shocks to the Bilstein reservoirs. The reservoirs don't make that much of a difference, but I do like the way they look, so I spent the extra money and got the reservoir set up. That hose clamp, it is going to be temporary. I am going to be partnering up with a fabricator and get a special kind of mount either there or up here. I'm still trying to figure out exactly what I want. And then upgraded the control arms to Cognito, and we upgraded the tie rods also to Cognito. And for those of you guys that are wondering why I went with Cognito, it's just because I got a better deal. Nothing against Kryptonite or nothing against any other company, it's just got a better deal on the Cognito, so that's why I went with them, trying to save some money. And if you look right there, we have the BDS dual stabilizer right there. And then moving on, we have the wheels and tires. These are the 22x14 drop star forged wheels, and we have 33 1450 amp attack mud tires. So these tires are, I would say, pretty true to size. If anything, they were wider. I think these measured out to be like 15 inches wide, which is amazing. That's exactly what I wanted, which is amazing because that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted like the widest tire I could possibly get. I looked at Furies are not true to size. I'll leave a video up here where we did a comparison between Fury's 1550 versus my 1450, and my tires were wider than their 1550 tire, which doesn't make any sense. 1450s seem to be wider than the 1550s. They're both 14 wides. Mine's 22x14. His is 24x14. Speaking of suspension, I guess I want to tell you guys what I want to do next would be the gearbox. I need to do a whole new gearbox. I'm going to go ahead and do redhead gearbox. And we're going to do a new idler and pitman arm and possibly the support kit. Air Dog. We got the Air Dog lift pump. If you guys are going to be asking why I went with Air Dog instead of Fast, well, I have the Air Dog on my LML as well. And it really comes down to preference. They are, in a way, about the same. The reason why I went with Air Dog is on my LML, when I was buying a lift pump, I got a better deal for the Air Dog. I've had good luck with Air Dog. I personally know people that have Fast and they've had nothing but issues. I will testify that Fast their customer service is pretty good, because Holden had some issues with his pump and Fast reached out to him and made it right. Basically, they do have good customer service, but honestly the biggest reason why I did choose AirDog, besides getting a better deal, was AirDog is much quieter than Fast. A lot of you guys, it might not be a deal breaker, but for me, kind of gets me a little paranoid if my pump is a little too loud. Then here we have the rear of the truck. Bilstein Shocks. I didn't do the reservoirs in the back just because, like I said, the ride quality doesn't really improve with reservoirs, and no one's really going to see the rear shocks, so I didn't want to spend the extra money and put the reservoirs in the back. In the rear we have, of course, a Gen Y hitch with the step and the bolt locks. And here we have the shark tail hitch for the flagpole. We have the Mictuning's tailgate light bar, which is like 50 bucks, and I will tell you that these work better than your $200 tailgate light bars. And then we have Primo Dynamics paint matched tail lights. Bulbs are probably Mictuning or some sort of Amazon ones for like 30 bucks. It's the tow mirrors up here, which is the Boostautoparts tow mirrors. I painted it at the house. I still have to wet sand and buff because there's some runs and orange peels. And then the switchback in the middle is the Primo Dynamics switchback. However, I am going to go back to Boostautoparts mirrors, or Boostautoparts switchback lens, and I'm going to color match them myself. Nothing wrong with these, it's just that I'm not really a fan of how the LED works. I just like, to me, the way Boostautoparts work, it's just clean and simple. These do have like the with the chasing LEDs and all that fancy stuff that looks really good for the show, but I really don't really care for that anymore. I just want them to work properly as switchback lens. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. I mean, some Amazon headlights. These are lace fit bulbs, lace fit switchback bulbs, which doesn't require resistors, which is good. Mictuning LED bulbs, Mictuning LED high beam bulbs. And that is really it for this truck. Plenty of things to come. Oh, and the inside, pretty much stock except aftermarket head unit. Aftermarket head unit Alpine. And before you guys ask me what model it is, I have no idea. It came with the truck. And we have the Edge CTS2. Yes, I'm going to upgrade to CTS3 eventually, but right now this does the job, so no need to spend money in upgrading it. Last but not least, rock lights. We do have 20 rock lights on this truck, and keep in mind, every mod that I've done on this truck, I do have a playlist for it, so make sure you go check it out. But we got 3 in each fender well, and then we have 8 as the underglow. So yeah, it's really bright. Here's a video of it. Yeah, that is it for this video. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of my LLY. Let me see. I might come over here and just get a thumbnail. There we go. Yeah, let me know in the comments below what you guys think of my LLY, and if you guys have any questions, leave them below, and let me know what I should do next. I do have a couple of parts in my garage at home ready to be installed, and if you can guess what that is, I will send you a free Dirty Max Mafia hat. So leave your guesses below on what the next modification it will be for the LLY. Hit the thumbs up button and hit that subscribe button if you guys want to see more of this truck, as well as Mark's truck and a few other builds that we're going to be having on this channel. But I can't thank you guys enough for all the support, and have a great day. Peace.